Hey, it's Coach Mac, playfastfootball.blogspot.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about blending the 4-2-5 with the 3-3 stack. Did some earlier presentations on the 4-2-5 defense, and which is our base structure at our high school, and I want to talk a little bit today about blending the 4-2-5 with the 3-3 stack, using the odd front to protect the even front, and then also giving some movement and making it a little bit more dynamic than the straight over front, all right, from the 4-2-5. So up here I've got the base 4-2-5 up on the board the way we do it, all right. Talked earlier on some of the earlier blogs. We're a little bit different than most people. We play with a left safety and a right safety that we never move. They have to be able to play up and back. Our free safety declares our read side and our coverages. All right, right now I got a generic 2x2 set drawn up. So for us, I've got us in 4-2-5, front set to the back, coverage set to the back, all right, and two read or palms on both sides. What I want to do is I want to talk about just some different stunts that we use in the 4-2-5 and how we can transfer that straight into the 3-3 stack without changing any personnel. I don't change any personnel when I go to the 3-3 stack. All right, I use my nose guard as the stack Mike linebacker. He's a pretty athletic kid for us. He's a wrestler. He's a 275-pound, 280-pound kid that's got good feet, very smart kid. So what we do is we put him at the stack nose, and then we run all our same 4-2-5 stunts and blitzes, and we just make him get to the gap he's assigned to in his normal 4-2-5-3 technique responsibilities. And that gives us a different front with some movement. And you know, I've always been enamored with the 3-3 stack at the high school level because of the dynamic nature and the movement to it. It gives offensive linemen and high school offenses a lot of problems. I'm not so much enamored with it as a base defense and moving on every single down and blitzing just a blitz and coming from every angle, but I do like it as a changeup to protect the 4-2-5 even front, and I do like the movement if it's designed the right way, because I think it gives offenses and offensive linemen in high school a lot of problems. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to draw up is just a standard two-man game on the front side of the 4-2-5 and how we can get into the 3-3 stack, run the same game, same terminology, have two different looks without even changing any calls for us. All right, so if we were to run an exit stunt on the front side with the 3 and the 5, we would penetrate with the 5 first to the B gap, and we would loop the 3 technique second. Doesn't change any gaps for us up front. The Mike's still an A-gap player. Everything stays the same. All right, that would be for us just a standard generic over exit stunt. Okay, now if I wanted to do the same thing from the 3-3 stack look, all right, what I would do, okay, without changing personnel, what I would do is I would take my tackle and move him stacked on the nose. My end would be head up on the tackle. My rush would be head up on the tackle. My Mike would be stacked behind the end. My Willie would be stacked behind the rush because it's 2x2. He's going to apex a little bit here. I'll take the nose guard and I'll make him the stack linebacker without changing any personnel at all. Okay? So now what I want to do is I want to go stack and I want to run the exit stunt at a stack. Same terminology, same call. So now what's going to happen is my end is going to penetrate first. I'm going to take my nose guard, okay, and pre-snap I'm going to walk him over and loop outside, all right, the defensive end that's penetrating into the B gap there, and I'm going to loop my nose with some movement outside to play the C gap. I'm in the same exit stunt that I ran out of the over front. I'm running it out of the odd front, and at the snap of the ball, I've got the same gap assignments I had in the over front. Everybody's doing the same thing that they were, okay? Once the nose starts to move, my Mike will bump back inside a little bit so he can play his A gap versus a 2x2 set. My Willie will apex because that's where he belongs in 2x2. My left safety, all right, is the down safety because the free safety made a Liz call to his side to play palms. We're going to play palms on that side, okay? So standard over exit to stack exit without changing any personnel, without changing any calls, okay? If we wanted to run, all right, another two-man game on the front side from the over front, okay, we could be in the over front, all right, and on the front side we could run twist. What we do on twist is we penetrate the nose through the B gap first and we long stick the end through the A gap. Okay? The nose is a penetrator through the B gap in the run game. If the nose gets any pass sets, he has to ricochet outside for contain. The end is a long stick A gap player underneath. Two-man game from the over front. Okay? All right? So now we can get into stack. All right, again, without changing personnel, without changing a call, without adding anything to the defensive repertoire, so the kids have to learn something new, we just get into the stack front. Okay, and now we're going to make a stack twist call. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the nose and pre-snap, we're going to move him up a little bit. We're going to penetrate the B gap. We're going to long stick the end into the A gap. Okay? What we would do out of the stack front now is we would take the tackle and make him his 1 technique. There's our 5 technique there. So we're right back into the same 6-man box principles that we have with our normal 4-2-5. We've changed the front. We've given different movements. Now it looks like there's pressure coming from a stack linebacker, but it's really the nose guard playing the same assignment he played in over twist. Now he's just doing it from the stack look. Okay? So now we've got 2 different fronts with some different movement. Okay? With some different movement here. And it looks different to the offense, but we haven't taught anything new to the defense yet. We've already taught them over exit. We've already taught them over twist. Now we're going to teach them how to do it from the stack look. All right? And we just have to work on the movements with the nose to time it up pre-snap so that he can get where he belongs, but to not show it too early. Otherwise, he would just be lining up in a 3 technique like he would in the over front. We want to give the appearance of the 3-3 stack look. We want to change the front, and we want to give the appearance of more movement, even though we know it's the same 2-man game that we run out of the over front. Appearance to the offense is everything. Changing it for the offense and making them block an odd front or making them block a 3-3 stack front changes a lot of things for them without changing anything for us. And if anything, even if a good offensive line can handle that, they still have to practice and work on it, and the coaching staff has to prepare for it and say, hey guys, we're going to see over fronts, we're going to see stack fronts, and we're going to see okie fronts. So if I can take time out of their practice week, okay, to get them to prepare for a 3-3 stack when it doesn't take much time out of my practice week because it's the same assignments I ran out of the over front. So that's huge for me to get to something that I don't need to spend a lot of time practicing, but I think the offense needs to spend some time preparing for. Okay, plus it gives us movement a little bit more dynamic nature. All right? Now, do the same thing if we're running some of our blitz games. Okay? We would do the same thing. All right, if we were bringing some of our man-free pressures, throw it up to 2-back to change it up a little bit here. Okay? If we were running some of our man-free pressures out of the over front, out of our base 4-2-5 stuff, all right, we could run what we like to call over will 1 free. Okay, 5-man pressure, bringing the will linebacker, playing 1 free behind it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to play standard gaps on the front side. Tackle's going to play A gap. We're going to spike the rush into the B gap. We're going to walk the willie up and bring him off the edge. Okay, we're then going to play man-to-man on number 1 with the corners. Okay, the left safety will have number 2 versus a 2-back set. Now the Mike and the right safety, okay, the Mike and the right safety will bracket the 2 running backs. Okay, first back my way. All right, so now the Mike and the right safety, because it's 2-back, they will communicate to each other that they are bracketing the 2 backs in the backfield, first back my way. All right, so that if you get any crossing action, instead of your linebackers chasing and running into each other, they play the first back that shows their way. If both backs go full flow the same way, all right, the front side man player has to play the deepest, widest, and let the backside guy play the underneath guy. We had a little bit of trouble this year with some dive option stuff where the front side back released under and the backside back went across. The man player on this side tried to play the dive. This guy never got to the pitch. You have to make sure that you understand if it's full flow like an option look, you've got to let the front side guy go to the widest, deepest, and let the backside guy be the cutback player in a dive option game. Had a little bit of trouble with that. If you're a man-free team, you got to shore up the run. You got to make sure you can understand that, and you got to be able to play the option. Okay, so this blitz was good to us this year, but it gave us some trouble in some of the option games, zone read option stuff, because we just didn't do a good job teaching it with the guys bracketing the two backs. Okay, now we can do the exact same thing. All right, we can do the exact same thing now from the stack front. And again, what'll happen for us is we won't teach anything new for our guys. All right, we won't be teaching anything new for our players, but to the offense, look how remotely different, okay, this is going to be now. All right, on the front side, we're going to play normal gaps, so the nose is going to creep up and go to this B gap. Tackle's going to spike. Rush is going to spike, and Willie's going to walk up and come. Now that blitz looks completely different to the defense, even though we are running the same will one free concept. We're now doing it from a stack look, so we're running stack will one free. We're playing the same gaps we played, but now all of a sudden from the offensive line standpoint, you've got a nose sparking, for us it's a tackle, you've got a stack backer coming in a B gap, you've got a spike here and a stack backer coming off the edge. It looks like a five-man odd stack blitz, okay? For us, it's our normal over will, five-man, man-free pressure. We're going to play number one here, number one man here. We're going to play number two man here. We're going to bracket the backs with the Mike and the right safety. Free safety's going to spin, and he's going to play the deep middle free, okay? So again, this is a way that we can get to two-man games. We can get to blitz packages, going from the over 4-2-5 front to the 3-3 stack front. We haven't changed a thing in coverage. We haven't even changed our personnel. Okay, I think you need a good nose guard that's a smart player and that has good enough feet to get where he belongs. All right, but I think it's well worth your time if you're an over front team or a 4-2-5 team to incorporate some 3-3 stack stuff and even some Okie 3-4 stuff. Just make sure that you're always trying to get back to a six-man box principle like the 4-2-5 defense. Okay, the 3-3 stack and a 4-2-5 go hand in hand because they're both six-man box principles. If you play it from a 2-high structure and not a 1-high structure, like a 3-5-3 team with 5 linebackers, they'd be stuck playing cover 3 and man free all day. If you were a true 3-3 stack team and you played 5 DBs, you could play all the same things as the 4-2-5 teams because it's a 4-2 box, 6-man box, 4-2-3-3, 6-man box, okay, same box principles. 3 safeties to handle all your formations, you can play all the same coverages. Again, multiple to the offense, simple to the defense. Okay? Dynamic to the offense, but very static for the defense. We're doing all the same things we do from day one, but we're making it tougher on that offense during the week, on the coaches, watching film, on the quarterback, on the offensive line. So I think it's very important that if you're a 4-2-5 team or an overfront team that you throw in some odd fronts to protect it. Okay? If anybody's down in Tampa this week at the Glazier Clinic, check me out. I'll be 3 offensive sessions on Friday afternoon, 2 defensive sessions on Friday night. If you get a chance, stop by the Speed Tracks booth. We're a Speed Track client, been the Speed Track client for 2 years. I know they'll be at the Glazier Clinic. All right, and always remember, guys, if you don't play fast, you won't play good.